Back when Android 11 launched for OnePlus devices, we thought that fans at the time would be annoyed. Well, with OxygenOS 12.0 and Android 12, we have a feeling that frustration could evolve into outright fury, but we've gone on hands-on to understand why. Thanks for watching 9to5Google here on YouTube. Remember to thumbs up, hit subscribe, and then tap the bell icon to be notified about all our future uploads. So for those of you out of the loop, which likely won't include many of you die-hard OnePlus fans out there, OxygenOS is set to be merged with Oppo's ColorOS, and Android 12 is the first major release since confirmation of this merger came directly from OnePlus themselves. At this stage, it's worth noting that Android 12 and therefore OxygenOS 12.0 is only here in a beta form right now. If you have a OnePlus 9 or 9 Pro, then you can sideload the zip file and try it out for yourself, but we'd say it's not quite worth it, at least at this stage. Firstly, if you're used to OxygenOS 10 or 11, and like the fairly lightweight tweaks that have been made to AOSP, then you might actively hate this latest update. Secondly, this is a beta after all, and that does mean some potential bugs and problems to contend with, one being that UI elements sometimes do pop up randomly all over the place. However, with all those warnings out of the way, here's everything new in what is a interesting update for sure. So there are more than just a few minor changes in how the UI looks and feels and operates in OxygenOS 12.0, not least because this is now built upon ColorOS's default launcher. The actual home screen experience is very familiar, but you'll notice little changes that do start to quickly add up to what is a notable overhaul. When attempting to make changes using the customization screen, you'll instantly spot that the UI now replicates that seen on ColorOS devices. It is more in-depth, but it is a substantial departure from previous versions of OxygenOS and feels as though the OnePlus identity is definitely being shelved in favour of Oppo's one-size-fits-all approach that sometimes can feel a bit heavily inspired by iOS. If you remove an app as well from your home screen, there is a new pop-up to confirm you want this to be removed, and to add to that you'll need to delve into the app drawer or individual app settings to delete apps directly from your device. This is a slightly slower process, and although you couldn't delete apps in this manner previously, it does make less sense for usability when compared to other versions of Android. The settings menu changes do paint a clearer picture of the tweaks made to OxygenOS 12.0 to ensure that it more closely mimics that of ColorOS. Things just feel different, and for hardcore OnePlus fans, this is a big change that you will have to decide if you're happy to deal with or you just want to ditch. Sections such as the battery and about phone pages now also show some notable tweaks that do scream ColorOS. This is a beta after all, and there are a few little things that don't make active sense, like the incorrect processor being detected on the OnePlus 9 Pro for instance. That said, even at this stage, the performance for the most part is okay and fairly solid. In the app drawer as well, there are some other tweaks including more obvious alphabetical tags for the app search, which is sometimes a little buggy but most of the time does work just fine. This feature has been tweaked and more closely represents ColorOS's methodology though. To add to that, there are also, as part of the wider changes that better mimic ColorOS, there are a few more icons for you to choose from on your home screen when you want to customize your OnePlus smartphone. You can choose from multiple shapes including circular, hexagonal, squircle, plus there's a further 3 options on top of that. But the Art Plus icon restyling does help ensure that your entire on-device UI does stay consistent. The argument over which dark mode level is the best will likely rumble on for time and never be settled, but kudos to OnePlus for adding scalable darkness settings for system-wide theming. You're not just forced to accept the default setting, with 3 new options for you to tweak if you're not happy with OnePlus's dark theming out of the box. Within device settings, you can choose between gentle, medium and enhanced dark mode options. No, this isn't exactly in depth, but think of these options as grey, black and AMOLED black. This does apply system-wide, but not quite as extensively as it doesn't technically apply to non-system apps, and we're hoping this will change over time as the betas progress. While much of the UI has been shaved and owned to more closely align with ColorOS, there are some nice customization options added within OxygenOS 12.0, it is hard to deny. One such inclusion is that of inventive wallpapers, which can turn any existing image into an abstract design that will adorn your home screen. This could very well be a hint of the groundwork being laid before we get to see proper material hue and dynamic colour tweaks or support coming in a future OxygenOS 12.0 beta update, but for now it is a nice inclusion, although the selection is fairly consistent. no matter which option you choose. OxygenOS 12.0 is also introducing greater controls over how apps are kept running in the background with the Recent Tasks Manager section. Effectively, this lets you manage all of your apps you want to lock in memory so that they don't need to refresh quite as often when you reopen them. Even clearing apps held in RAM through the Recent App menu will ensure that those that have been locked will be safe and able to launch quickly and not cleared from memory. It's not actually a new feature, as you have been able to lock apps in this manner for quite some time. However, the Recent Tasks Manager section is brand new and does let you see just what apps you want to actively lock and what are disabled as standard. You can find it by heading to Settings, Home Screen and Lock Screen, and then you'll find a Recent Tasks Manager down towards the bottom. When you swipe down from the right side of the home screen, the new shelf has been updated in OxygenOS 12.0 with greater customization options and controls and the ability to tweak to better suit your use case. That includes things such as statistics and fitness info from a OnePlus watch, that is if you have one, or even the ability to directly add home screen widgets to this portion of your phone. This might help declutter things and ensure that you're not clogging up other parts of your device, such as your home screen, while still giving you direct and controlled access. Scout, the universal device search, has also been added to shelf in all regions after initially being limited to just Indian OnePlus smartphone owners. It works very well so far, and it's a very welcome addition, especially if you can't initially find something already saved on your device somewhere and you don't know where to look. If you want to store things that you don't necessarily want other people to have access to, you'll be able to get further controls with the enhanced privacy safe feature in OxygenOS 12.0. This feature has been lifted directly from ColorOS, and you'll find the option within the privacy section within the settings app. Privacy Safe lets you keep things like images, videos, audio files, documents, and some other files safely stashed out of the view of prying eyes. To set up though, you will need to add some recovery information, and as you'd expect, screenshots and screen recording are blocked when this section is open. Once you've enabled access, you can just touch and hold the tab bar on the homepage of apps, such as My Files and Photos, or you can add a home screen widget to quickly access your privacy safe whenever you see fit. A step above the regular digital wellbeing options that you'll find in Android, Zen Mode is also getting yet another set of upgrades and changes in OxygenOS 12.0. New themes have been added, and now there's a total of 5, with new calming music added for good measure. These additions might not make you use Zen Mode if you haven't already done so before, but it's still great to see the feature getting updated and enhanced as time goes on. There are numerous note-taking apps to choose from on Android, but the redesigned OnePlus Notes app will be vying for your attention in OxygenOS 12 thanks to some added features and a new layout. It has been tweaked to be easier to navigate, with more new features including the ability to doodle or sketch, a feature that is missing from previous versions. In addition to doing things like being able to add images and text, this is a fantastic extra option to the default note-taking app within OxygenOS and might make it well worth a look if you haven't done so already. One of the coolest customization features in OxygenOS 11.0 has also been updated here with the 12.0 update, and if the Canvas AOD or Always On Display option was not considered a killer addition before, it probably should be now. In basic terms, the Canvas AOD feature lets you add an image or set an image as your wallpaper, and when the active or Always On Display is active, a wireframe rendition of your wallpaper will be shown on your lock screen. The update to version 2.0 adds more customization options and improves the accuracy and scaling of the wireframe effect when you first apply it. You can select from new presets that include crayon or pencil style sketches, or even neon-like outlines. Further to these presets, you can even manually adjust each individual setting, erase portions, and colour to suit your personal preferences. Although there is no room for Material U tweaks and some other fun stuff from Android 12 found on Pixel phones, you do get access to some common features with OxygenOS 12.0 that have come from those versions, such as the privacy dashboard and direct camera and microphone access toggles from quick settings. We are hoping for some wider dynamic colour support coming soon, as we're already seeing Samsung add the feature in their own flavour of Android 12. However, we simply don't know what else might join the party as the Android or OxygenOS 12.0 beta progresses for OnePlus smartphones. While this isn't the most extensive list, we would like to know what you would love to see in a future build or what your thoughts are of OxygenOS 12.0 now that it's moving closer to ColorOS. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Or are you just indifferent? Be sure to let us know down in the comment sections below and try to keep it civil wherever possible. But until next time, this is Damien with 9to5 Google saying thanks for watching, and I will speak to you later.